This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, text 68, translation. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. Purport. Generally, it is advised that Bhagavad Gita be discussed amongst the devotees only, for those who are not devotees will understand neither Krishna nor Bhagavad Gita. Those who do not accept Krishna as he is and Bhagavad Gita as it is should not try to explain Bhagavad Gita whimsically and become offenders. Bhagavad Gita should be explained to persons who are ready to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is a subject matter for the devotees only, and not for philosophical speculators. Anyone, however, who tries sincerely to present Bhagavad Gita as it is, will advance in devotional activities and reach the pure devotional state of life. As a result of such pure devotion, he is sure to go back home, back to Godhead. And I will read the next verse too. Nacha tasman manusheshu kaschin me priya krita maha bhavita nacha me tasmat anya priyataro bhuvi. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. Yaidam paramanguyam bhakteshu abhidasyati bhakti mai param kritva mame vaishyati asamshreha. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. So every time I started the session or section of this 6-part seminar, I was asking you, do you know what is the title of this part of the seminar?
Make a wonderful contribution.
You should not have said that, because I was asking those who don't know. So
And then they don't know, then how they can.
they can guess. Although guessing is not a good strategy, I don't recommend it. So I think this is maybe the first time that somebody guessed correctly. I mean, somebody correctly said what is the title, but that's fine. I think Salim probably has on his phone. Now, the more difficult question is coming, that what were the first 5 parts? Sorry, I have to a little bit help you exercise your brain. Okay, first, who remember, it was so long ago, it was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah?
Ask questions.
Excellent questions. That's an excellent answer to my question. That was the first part. Then second?
Positive language.
What to do with positive language?
Use positive language.
Use positive language. So every title has three words. Use positive language. Then number 3.
Extend your consciousness.
I knew that he will miss at least one word, but he is very close. Expand what? Expand your intelligence.
The last time I did the same mistake.
Expand your intelligence, third part. And number 4.
Giving heart.
Huh?
Giving heart.
Give?
Giving heart.
Giving heart.
Gross, give a heart.
What?
Gross, give a heart.
Gross?
Grow Gross giver.
Grows giver's heart. You're right. Grow, no grows. Grow
Yes,
giver's.
Gross.
Grow giver's heart. Grow the heart of a giver. In other words, grow giver's heart. Grow the heart of a giver. Develop a heart of a giver. And number 5 was only 2 days ago.
Guidance.
Guidance.
Right guidance. Right guidance.
Give right guidance.
Guidance.
Anything else?
Become a trusted guide.
Become a trusted guide. So, Rishabh Prabhu told you this? No. Okay. Become a trusted guide. And when you see, one leads to the other, one helps the other. If you have become a trusted guide, that's step number 5, then you are ready to do what? You are ready to make a wonderful contribution, which is today. And I have chosen one of the best verses in the Bhagavad Gita. This is the verse that Srila Prabhupada quoted many times. It's towards the end of the Gita. How many of you know how many verses has the chapter 18? The last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita.
78.
78. Excellent. This is the longest chapter. Chapter 2 has 72 verses. This is the longest chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. And the last verse says what? Don't look at the book.
Remember the last verse in Bhagavad Gita was everywhere where Krishna is and Arjuna there will be victory, success, fortune.
Prasada. Okay, we have to find 4 things that are mentioned in the last verse, 4 amazing things which have to do with the contribution, with our topic today. Wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there will be victory, yes. There is 3 more.
Well,
What? Power? Yes, extraordinary power and
fortune.
I think no. I mean, this is all fortune, but what? No,
Fame, maybe?
no. Opulence? Yes, opulence and one more that is lacking in this world and in this day and age. No. You should run for president of India. Or if you get citizenship, you can run for a president of Germany. Or a chancellor? Chancellor? One more?
Devotion.
No. Morality. So these 4 opulences are present wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, and also where Krishna and Arjuna are present in the Bhagavad Gita. So wherever there is Bhagavad Gita, we see that there is opulence, there is morality, there is extraordinary power and victory. How many of you like to lose? How many of you like to win? You will like to both lose and win. Because you know, lose.
To lose the wrong things. To get off the wrong things.
This is too smart. To lose the wrong. I want to lose all my anarthas. I want to lose all my bad habits. That's great. This kind of loss is favorable. It's desirable. So now I want to says something about what is mentioned in the verse. Krishna speaks about who is most dear to him. Let us go back to the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, verses 13 to 20, where Krishna describes who is dear to him. So he is describing many, many qualities of persons who are dear to him, and one of the qualities is, if you are not disturbed, you are dear to Krishna. And in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to not be disturbed, because there are so many disturbances. Only someone who is fixed in higher consciousness can be not disturbed by the disturbances of Kali Yuga. So you know what is irritating you, you know what is disturbing you, extremely, and everybody has their own list. But simply by not being disturbed, you can become dear to Krishna. And there is so many other, by not being envious, by being free from false ego, by being a well-wisher of everyone. So many qualities are described, and these all qualities describe who is dear to Krishna. And in this verse we have description of someone who is most dear to Krishna. So most dear to Krishna is one who preaches to devotees. But Srila Prabhupada explained this verse in an expanded way. He said one who preaches Krishna consciousness, or one who preaches the Bhagavad Gita, is most dear to Krishna. But especially one who preaches to devotees, or those who are interested in Krishna or who want to be devotees. Why? Because he is making them strong, and they also can attract other people. Now we are not preaching only to those who are interested in Krishna consciousness, we are preaching to everyone, whether they are interested or not. And if they don't want to listen to the philosophy, we give them prasadam. Or we give them the music, the holy name, spiritual music. So we want everyone to benefit, whether they are interested or not, whether they understand it or not, whether they like it or not. We don't force anyone, but we want to give them Krishna consciousness. Now, regarding our topic today, which is related to this describes a wonderful contribution that you can make to the world by giving them higher transcendental knowledge. In our life, we need to ask ourselves these three questions. What do I want to be? What do I want to do? And what do I want to have? And by answering these three questions, be, do, have, by answering these three questions, you can become more clear about the rest of your life, your future. You can define your personal purpose or your personal mission or mission statement. Some people use the mission statement. I help people to develop their personal mission statement, which basically answers these three questions. And I have a questionnaire or a quiz that has sub-questions to these questions to help you think more precisely about how do you want to define the rest of your life, or how do you want to define your wonderful contribution. So some people say that there is 4 goals of life: to live, to love, to learn, and to leave a legacy. To live means physical survival. To love means relationships, preferably loving relationships, not any relationships. To learn means to always be open to expand our intelligence, our knowledge. And to leave a legacy means to leave behind us something valuable. Something valuable. Everybody, we have a natural tendency to make a contribution, to do service, to do something valuable for others, for the world. Imagine you're 19 years old and you are on your deathbed, and no, you have already died. Sorry. You have already died, but you have ability, maybe as a ghost or as a spirit, you have ability to hear what people are saying on your funeral. I don't know if they are burning your body. I'm not sure how it works. I never attended this, but I attended funeral. My last funeral was funeral of my father 3 years ago. And so nobody wanted to speak. And I think my mother told me, can you say something? and I made a little speech about my father and about my relationship with him. So, what would you like people to say at your funeral about you? Some people say, when I ask this question, they say, "Oh, finally he has died." No, this is a joke, a little bit black joke, but black humor. What would you like people to say about your contribution?
That's what is good.
Huh?
Good.
Good.
Futures, yeah, what is good.
What is good? Okay. Yes?
He surely got to go look at Vrindavan.
He what?
He surely got to go look at Vrindavan.
Ah, you would like that they say something about your next destination.
She tried to do her best. She tried.
Okay, that's nice. She or he tried to do his or her best. Okay, anything else?
He had a lot of prasadam.
And purified his body and mind and got digestive problems, but still he made a success. Yeah?
He transformed so many people's hearts.
He transformed so many people's hearts. Wow, that's amazing. Yep.
He was a good friend, good father, I think it was.
Good friend, good father, good mother. Okay, very nice. Anything else?
He distributed a lot of books, a lot of Krishna books.
Only Krishna books or also Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita? Krishna's books. He distributed a lot of books. Wow, that's a great legacy. Then you get Srila Prabhupada's mercy for sure.
In which language?
Maybe you can canvas for me also. I translated, so I didn't distribute. But maybe does BBT people also count? And the Vimana for Vaikunta? Taxi? Oh my God. The microphone is sabotaging because I am speaking about my service. That's not good. Are you a software expert?
Sure. And hardware also.
This is soft fix. So, what else would you like to say? People say at your funeral? Imagine they say so many wonderful things that you get up from the casket. Get up and say, "I don't want to die. These people love me so much." What else?
He lived a life, he lived an exemplary life.
Very nice. So these are all very nice ideas, what people can say about your contribution at the end of your life. And you can ask yourself, what do I want to leave behind? Maybe you want to leave a book. Maybe you want to leave a nice temple for Krishna. Maybe you want to leave many CDs with music or electronic books. Or maybe you want to leave a hard drive of 1 or 2 terabytes of your lectures or your kirtans. Or maybe you want to leave many satisfied visitors of festivals who tasted the prasadam that you cooked. Or maybe you want to leave people in tears with your kirtan and with your music. And so many things you can choose to do. Some people love to dress deities in such a way that everybody is inspired. So what is it that you would like to leave behind you? Think about it, write about it, start doing something about it. I can help you with that also. Especially if your goal seems impossible, we can work on this. How to make impossible possible. It's like I can ask you, how can you eat an elephant? I know you're a vegetarian, but imagine, you need to eat an elephant. How can you do that?
How many days?
Bit by bit, only a little each.
Oh, this is a song. This is a song. Bit by bit, only a little eat. It's maybe a little bit like Indian English. Not Indian, but American Indian English. A little bit, but it's a rhyme and I like it. So, bit by bit, only a little eat. This is exactly what I wanted to say. Thank you. This is exactly what I want to say. I say, you can eat an elephant bit by bit. Similarly, you can achieve an impossible goal bit by bit, little by little, step by step. A road of 1,000 miles starts with the first step or first 100 meters, first meter in the car. There is almost no limit to how much you can achieve if you start and if you do the first step. And sometimes the first step is most difficult. The most difficult is to get moving towards your goal, towards your dream. So today people speak about our dreams. What is your dream? My dream is to wake up.
It's to remember who I am.
Yeah, to remember who I am, to start acting in reality, not in dreams. But what is your... If you would have a limited time and money, what would you do?
Limited time and
Unlimited time and money. If you have unlimited time and money, what would you do?
Open a lot of temples
Okay.
all around the world.
Yeah.
You invest all of it in Krishna consciousness as good as you can.
To do what?
Invest all of it in Krishna consciousness as good as you can. The time and the money.
And in which specific area?
In every area.
You would invest in every area.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you will become a GBC in 10 years. Because you are thinking like this broadly. That's nice.
unlimited time and unlimited levels.
Yeah, unlimited time and money.
Sounds like Vaikuntha.
But what would you do if you would have on this planet?
Nothing else to reach.
You would buy a villa on Hawaii. Nothing else to reach.
You have time to explore everything. You have the money to do everything.
You would not make a
You
farm.
are not in
You would
hurry.
You would not make a farm near Cologne. The Krishna conscious farm with 100 cows.
There's no limit.
But I'm speaking about your desire. What specifically you would like to do for Krishna with so much money and time? So we don't think like this every day, yes?
Prabhu said so to make books and to distribute, to help everybody who can, yes, to protect everybody. It needs money, it needs time. That's what you said. Two factors: time and money. Time and money, you must have money. So we can then spend it for everybody to
Yeah.
protect,
Mhm.
to know.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
To find ways that this Krishna consciousness philosophy become relevant for everyone.
To use these resources and your time to do this. Mhm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I think I would, if I had unlimited time and unlimited money, then I would do that. Everyone who takes breath on this planet, he will become Krishna conscious after some time. So
Unlimitedly. Yeah.
You always said like spread the message as good as I can. Take a facade now, distributing books, do marketing for all the temples, build new temples, everything.
So usually during the day we have so many tasks and we don't think like this. We don't dream big dreams. We don't think that Krishna can supply us with unlimited opulence for his service. And why would Krishna give you money? Why would Krishna give you lots of money? And when he would actually be inspired to give us unlimited money or resources? Yeah?
When he would give it?
Yeah.
When he has the trust in us that we will not misuse it.
Yes. This is pure nectar. This is when he is convinced, we become so trustworthy. He is convinced that we will not misuse it for sinful activities. We will not misuse it for regulated sense gratification. We will use it for his service, for helping people advance in Krishna consciousness, benefiting people by giving them Krishna consciousness in various forms and ways. And I think this is the key to opulence. This is the key to abundance. And now, after 50 years of ISKCON, we have a devotee running for presidency of the United States of America. And it's a lady. She's very friendly to our movement, but she is not the direct member of our movement. But she's very devoted and very respectful of Srila Prabhupada. So, I don't know when you joined. None of you joined 50 years ago. How many of you joined 50 years ago? How many of you joined 40 years ago? How many of you joined 30 years ago? How many of you joined 20 years ago? How many of you joined 10 years ago? So could you imagine that a devotee would be running very seriously, the congresswoman would run very seriously for President of the United States of America? And now she, in her presidential campaign, will start preaching actually values of the Vedas. At least most of it. Of course, she has to speak about the benefit for the country and for the American people, but she speaks about respecting everyone, respecting everyone's way of worship, because she is coming as Vaishnava Hindu. And I saw one speech, short, and she has followers. She has people who admire her. She is very bold. She was in Iraq. She was a soldier. She was on the battlefield, which Trump never did. And none of the presidents. Usually presidents are lawyers, businessmen, or something like that. But she's a warrior. She was putting her life on the line for the country, for peace. So people can trust her, although she's a lady, but she's a soldier. And so she wants to make a contribution, and of course if she gets elected, she will implement many values that she believes in, and these values are in the Vedas. So could you imagine? I mean, I joined 35 years ago. I could never imagine that after 35 years somebody will run for the President of the United States. So it seems that something is happening, something is cooking, and that Krishna has a plan. It is predicted in the scriptures that out of Kali Yuga, which is a very degraded age in which we live now, and which will become worse and worse, in Kali Yuga, 10,000 years, starting 500 years ago, or 50 years ago, that 10,000 years would be golden age within Kali Yuga. And we are asking ourselves, where is that golden age? I don't see it. And I must tell you that I see the golden age. Golden age is there where the Lord is glorified. Golden age is there where devotees do devotional service and support people in their spiritual life. That's golden age. And golden age is happening at least in 500 places in the world every single day, where devotees are going out and being in the temple serving Krishna. This is already golden age. But golden age can spread. We want it to spread in every town and village. So golden age is not a fairy tale or Indian mythology. It's a reality that is already happening. And if we take into consideration how sinful this planet is, it should explode. It should have exploded long time ago, but because there is a glorification of the Lord on this planet is still in one piece. And we are grateful, because if it is blown, we would be blown too. And now other groups, religious groups, are also getting very fired up to glorify the Lord, because before churches were empty, now they rent or buy huge basketball halls and glorify the Lord inside in thousands and thousands. You have heard of American megachurches. I don't know if you have it here, but they really sing about Jesus. really, white gospel music. So other than there is amazing preachers in other religions also. Like there is one lady, if you read her quotes, you can scratch your head. I have posted some of her quotes on my Facebook. She's a Muslim. She quotes Quran often. She has such high standard, high values, high principles, and how he speaks about any aspect of life is amazing. It's very, very spiritual. So the whole planet has more and more people who are becoming more and more spiritual, more and more God conscious in various religions. And something extremely good is happening on this planet. On the other hand, we are hanging in the air, and the nuclear war is at our door. You need just a little bit of craziness of Korean president or American president, and it starts, or Russian, and it starts immediately. And it will go over our heads or on our heads. So we have two things at the same time going on. And of course God is in control of everything, and He can stop or start something. And there is a story when there was Cold War in the 60s, and maybe a couple of years ago, one devotee heard a story from his grandfather, who was a Russian soldier at that time, and Russia was ready to shoot intercontinental rocket because the tension was so high. And at that very time, Srila Prabhupada was with a boat, was about to embark on, or disembark, on American soil, to Boston Commonwealth Pier, to come there, and something stopped these people to shoot the rocket. And we believe that Krishna stopped it because his devotee came to bring his message. So this is one miracle that happened, and one war was stopped. And now we have to see what happens, because Prabhupada is not here. He is here in the form of his teachings, in the form of his murti, especially in the form of his instructions, and everything he left, his books, his teachings, his lectures, conversations, letters. And we believe that Krishna wants Krishna consciousness to spread, but we don't know what will happen. And even many devotees were harassed by demoniac people in the past, so we don't know what will happen. But we are very happy and fortunate that so many good things are already going on. And if everything is destroyed, we will be born in the next life and continue where we stopped with our Krishna consciousness. So now, every little service that you do will be counted, will be put on your spiritual bank account. So as long as you live, make as much contribution as you can, contribute to other people's lives, support people, help them in their Krishna consciousness, and show some love, be instrument in God's hands, be instrument of God's love, and try to do something good, something Krishna conscious, something spiritual, something compassionate. Any contribution, but you can also plan something and do something in a very systematic way and set goals and work on your Krishna conscious goals. You can work with others, or you can work alone. So many opportunities are there. You can choose what you want to do. So you can make a wonderful contribution and Krishna will be pleased, whatever you choose. Your mission can be to help others make a contribution. This is, in one sense, my service. I'm helping others to achieve their Krishna conscious goals as a friend, as a life coach. And there is, Srila Prabhupada created so many fields of activities that you can choose. It's like a Swedish table. You can choose what you want to do. But do something, do anything. And if you just sit at home and chant Hare Krishna, this is already a lot. This is already contributing to the healing and the purification of the planet. So opportunity is here. And if you take this verse and start speaking with devotees about Krishna, asking questions, later slowly you can start teaching others, you can preach to new people, to devotees. But discussions about Krishna are very important. Like we are now speaking, and others stop now and ask you for questions in a few minutes. This is very, very powerful because this creates like a springboard for all of us to go out and do something for the world and also for our own life by practicing spiritual life seriously ourselves, practicing our sadhana, and being empowered, being good instruments in the Lord's hands. Nimitta matram bala sarasachin. Krishna says to Arjuna, become an instrument in my hands. Thank you very much for listening. Do you have any questions?
What it means being empowered.
Krishna Shakti Vinanahe Tara Pravartana. It is said that only one who is empowered can preach. So we get empowered by the acharyas, by Krishna. We get empowered by knowledge. We get empowered by enthusiasm. We get empowered by determination. We get empowered by fearlessness, by ability to take risks. And we become a good instrument in the Lord's hands.
How one can become empowered?
How? By following the process of Krishna consciousness, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, by reading the books, by hearing and discussing the books, by supporting others in their Krishna consciousness, by doing any kind of service. We see that devotees who are steadily doing one service over the years, they become really expert in this and really capable to do miracles, to do amazing things, like distributing millions of plates of prasadam, distributing thousands of books, supporting many people. It's not only about numbers, but it's both quality and quantity. And we can use this body and we can abuse this body. So we can use it for Krishna service as an instrument in Lord's hands, and we can abuse it for sinful activities and get entangled in the material energy. Yeah.
What qualities or what characters one needs?
What qualities?
Or character
Character qualities one need for what?
to become empowered?
To become empowered. Can you give me number one and I will say number two?
authentic, to be honest.
Okay. Actually, let's all of us discuss these qualities, yeah? What quality would you like to develop? Number one.
Be always humble. Human.
Always humble.
Yes.
Okay. This is a big discussion. What is humility? There is whole category in Manipedia on humility, yes? Faith. Yeah, faith, humility. These are very, very basic. Be authentic. Be honest. Honesty. I wrote one Facebook post that we have a long way to go. Please don't feel offended, but this is my impression. We have a long way to go just to become honest, what to speak of become devoted. Honest with ourselves, honest with others. That's a big goal. Just become honest. We speak about bhava. But how can you have bhava without having basic honesty? I don't know how it's possible. Maybe by the special mercy. Okay? Yes?
Become tolerant.
Tolerant, also titikshava, karunika, suhrida, sarva, dehina, ajata, shatrava, shanta, sadhava, sadhu, bhushanaha. These are the decorations of the sadhu described in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah?
Compassionate.
Compassionate, karunika, merciful, compassionate, titikshava, karunika, suhrida, sarva, dehina. What is that?
To be the friend of all the
Suhrida. Suhrit means the best friend.
intimate friend.
Sarva dehina means all embodied beings. All embodied beings. Not only human beings, but all embodied beings, all living entities. Suhrida sarva dehina. Ajata shatra vashanta. Ajata shatru. Huh? Can you say it again?
Conquering the enemies?
Conquering the enemies. No, Ajata Shatru means something else. It's connected to enemies, but Ajata Shatra? Ajata Shatru?
The one who has no enemies?
Yes, one who has no enemies. Maybe somebody is his enemy, but he's nobody's enemy. That's the attitude of a devotee. And Shanta? Peaceful. So these are some of the qualities of one who aspires to become empowered. These are qualities of a sadhu. Sadhu bhushana means ornaments on the character of a sadhu. Sadhu bhushana, ornaments, decorations. What is your number one?
Compassion.
Compassion. Yeah?
Because Krishna is so compassionate to me.
Krishna is compassion too.
Simplicity we have forgotten.
No?
We have forgotten simplicity.
Simplicity, we have forgotten simplicity. Simplicity is also in the qualities of a brahmana. Yeah? Mm. Yeah, also. Mm. So these are wonderful questions. What qualities we need to develop in order to inspire Krishna to empower us, to be good instruments in his hands? And sometimes people, success teachers, they say, what kind of a person you need to become in order to achieve what you want to achieve? Because you need to develop certain qualities in order to be able to, or skills also, in order to be able to achieve the goals you want to achieve. So it's be, do, have. You develop certain qualities and skills, you do something with these qualities and skills, and then you get results. You have something, you get results. So this is how you can make your contribution. Start with your character. Today when I was chanting, I got this question that people ask, can you show me God? Can you show me God? And then if somebody asks me, I ask him back, can you show me your character first? then I can show you God. Now, I want to mention faith, that you mentioned, that if someone has faith, then it will not be difficult to become empowered. If someone has faith and is not too proud, or is not proud, or is humble, humility and faith, I think they are very basic qualities, humility and faith. But from them, other qualities will manifest. Mother Teresa said, not all of us can do great things, but all of us can do small things with great love. So if you do many small things with great love, then it becomes great. It becomes very great. So you start wherever you are. There is now a very popular speaker, a clinical psychologist from Canada, Jordan Peterson, and many devotees send me his links. And I'm trying to listen to him, and I don't always understand what he's talking about, because he's talking about so many things. But some of the good things he's mentioning is taking responsibility. Taking responsibility. Then he's speaking about, we have a pursuit of happiness. Many people teach us, you can become happy in this way. There is 5 steps to happiness. There is 5 steps to success. And he says happiness is only part of life. There is also a lot of suffering. And he's becoming popular, especially amongst young people. So I wanted to say something else that he said. I just went out of my head. Oh, yes, wonderful thing. People come to him and speak to him about changing the society, changing the politics, changing the social system, changing the cheating business systems. And he says, clean your room, my boy, first. Clean your room. So charity begins at home. First, clean your room, and then clean in front of your room. And then you can conquer the world. First, clean our heart. First, make our character high. Then we can go out and put our neck on the line and risk to help the world. Risk to help the world. So first you have to help this important person in your life, and that is you. Then you can help others. Because how will you help you? First, develop your character, your high character, and become very determined not to deviate from your values and from your principles. Then the God will notice you, and He will say, oh, this guy is interesting, let me see if I can engage him in some higher mission. And then your life will change. The Vedas are not meant for the speculation and discussion of armchair philosophers. The Vedas are meant for the transformation of character, or for the formation of character. So the main purpose of this movement is change of character. And therefore it's very painful when we see that devotees do some activities that are not in line with this, that are not in line with higher principles of the Vedas. But because we come from the group of conditioned souls, it can be expected, and these people can rectify themselves over time and get better and better. We know a story of a thief who had an irresistible urge to steal. It's a true story, and it's not very ancient story. It's quite modern, 10, 20, 30 years ago. And he went on a pilgrimage with devotees, and he had an irresistible urge to steal from them, because devotees have always some Walkman or iPod or iPad. At that time there was Walkman or maybe, I don't know, some gadgets. So instead of stealing, he changed during the night while everybody was sleeping. He changed everybody's bag and replaced. He had to do some mischief. He couldn't resist, but he didn't steal anything. So in the morning everybody was confused, and then finally he actually admitted that he has done it, and they also were suspicious that maybe he has done it, and I think they forgave him because he said, sorry, I have this habit, and at least I have not stolen, but I had to shift your bags and your things. So with such a person who is sincere but still has a bad habit, we need to be patient, and they will change. They will change. And if you want to become a powerful instrument in Lord's hands, don't be too strict with yourself and don't be too lenient or too soft with yourself. Try to find a golden balance, golden middle, good balance, and you can be a little bit more strict than soft, but don't go into any extreme, because this will not help you grow. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Can we ask one question?
Yes? One more question, yeah.
Just because you gave the last statement, and on that I want to ask a question. Why one should not go to become too stricken? Why it will be when one becomes too much stricken,
Too strict?
Why it will be a hindrance to grow?
We have seen this in practice through our experience, that people who become too strict with themselves or too hard on themselves, it's counterproductive. It's not good for their advancement, or they become too strict with others, and others are not ready, so they burn out people. They think everybody should do like me. They start to criticize others. Why you're not more strict? I am sacrificing so much and you're just chilling out. So many traps are there when you overdo anything. And due to motor passion, we go to extremes. Motor passion and ignorance, we go to extremes. So the most difficult thing is to be in goodness and keep balance. And for balance, you need goodness. You need the mode of goodness. And these are done under the influence of the lower modes, these kind of extremes, yes?
And then how one can check oneself that one is in balance?
It's
or
good.
Out of balance.
You will feel it. You will start making mistakes. You will start being rude with people. People will start getting upset with you. And you can talk to someone you trust. What do you think? How am I performing? You can ask people for feedback, and they will tell you, or you will get sick. You will get sick physically or mentally if you are too strict with yourself. So this is what we see. This is what I have seen in my life, 60 years. I have seen that this happens all the time. That people get this result. Okay? Thank you. Hare Krishna.